In this WrestleTalk news, the real reason Biggie won the WWE Championship, more WWE contract drama, scrapped Raw plans, and my review of last night's episode. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos, and for amazing feats of athleticism like this. Holy S. Holy S. Gonna lead my own chant there.
Support WrestleTalk!
Last night's episode of Raw, for the first time in maybe a year and a half, was actually good, with WWE moving the Bobby Lashley vs Randy Orton championship match from Extreme Rules to Raw's main event. But the show ended up getting a main event, where Biggie finally cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase to become the new WWE champion, pinning Bobby after he had successfully retained over Orton. It was a fantastic moment to cap off a terrific episode, which I'll have my full review on in a bit, but in typical WWE style, this was another case of plans changing last minute. It's just this time, it worked out great. According to Andrew Zarian, Biggie winning the WWE Championship was always the plan, just for the October 4th episode of Raw, which was confirmed last night to be a WWE Draft episode. Additionally, Raw was meant to be headlined by a tag team title match of Lashley and MVP versus Riddle and Orton, after the Tag Team Turmoil episode last week. Dave Meltzer had previously reported the WWE Championship match replacing that was among the responses to AEW, as Dynamite actually beat Raw in the key 18 to 49 demographic last week, although Ringside News reported it has nothing to do with AEW and more with other competition from the NFL starting again. WWE even heavily promoted the title change idea, with Biggie tweeting before the show, "Let's let that cat out of the bag. I intend on cashing in my Money in the Bank contract tonight and cashing in to become WWE champion." Babyface following through on a promise and making the fans happy? What is this? The 80s? Why do you think Biggie won the title? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'll be replying to people for the first 30 minutes after this video goes live from out of nowhere. Something else that was changed for Raw was a scrapped appearance from the former NXT champion Samoa Joe. According to Fightful Select, Joe was originally part of the script to appear on Monday's episode to promote NXT's 2.0 relaunch tonight, complete with colourful logo and hippity-hop music. However, as Joe revealed on Sunday night, he has been forced to relinquish the NXT title due to certain injuries, and it seems his appearance on Raw was also dropped. Speaking of NXT things being dropped, contract segue. After reports that NXT will focus on big guys who can main event WrestleMania instead of your favourite indie midgets, members of the current roster will presumably be phased out from the main event. Dave Meltzer had previously reported that several of the biggest stars on NXT were on the chopping block to be released. But you can't release them if an admin error lets their contract expire first, am I right? Baby. Fightful Select is reporting Johnny Gargano's contract is due to expire on the 3rd of December this year. Pete Dunne's WWE status is still up in the air. Sami Zayn's deal reportedly expires this year too, and Kevin Owens' contract is due to expire in January 2021, where he's already teased reuniting with his friends, the Young Bucks, in AEW. Now it's time for my review of last night's Raw in about 5 minutes. Thanks for your support on Patreon, Ryan B. Bad and Shield Maiden, the Zornice. You can get your own shout out on loads of exclusive WrestleTalk shows by visiting patreon.com/WrestleTalk. Raw will get good again now you're the authority figures, they said. Raw will get good again once they're out of the performance center, they said. Raw will get good again once fans come back live, they said. They were all wrong. Like we've seen time and time again in WWE over the decades, Raw will only get good again when its back is against the wall and it's forced to make a change. Make a change. I'm looking at the McMahon in the mirror. So thank you, you perfect storm of AEW's 18 to 49 demographic rating last week and the return of Monday Night Football here, because this episode, along with Friday's really fun Madison Square Garden edition of SmackDown, showed the full extent of what WWE is capable of. From the very start of this episode, it felt like there was a conscious direction backstage to let wrestlers wrestle, address fan frustrations from the last few weeks, and deliver at least one great moment that made sense, because it was explicitly said to us at the very start of the show. Mr. Money in the Bank, Beige, opened Raw, presumably as part of the quarterly cross-brand invitational wildcard briefcase rule whack-bat, to tell Randy Orton, Riddle, MVP and Bobby Lashley he'll be cashing in his briefcase after the Orton vs Lashley main event. He then kept popping up backstage to remind them throughout the night, and us, he still definitely intends to do that. And because he's a babyface, he should, and did, fulfill his promise. But it wasn't just Beige who was great. Everyone in this storyline excelled, with Orton doing some of the best babyface work of his career and Lashley getting the line, "I'm gonna shove that briefcase so far up your ass, you're gonna be able to taste the fine print." There really was something in the air when even a Charlotte versus Shayna Baszler match built around Nia Jax's interference excites me. Thankfully, they kept to a worked real fight rather than a work-shoot real fight or even a shoot-shoot real fight, shoot-fight real work. Charlotte won with a big boot and Nia will face Baszler next week. Allegedly. Alexa Bliss then came down with Lily and a present, a Flair version of the doll, which the crowd was super into, breaking into a yes chant. Guess that's better than a "We Want Wyatt" chant here. Bliss was really good, dropping the full-on supernatural stuff and just being creepy cool, calling Charlotte a bitch, and then hitting a Canadian destroyer to pose with the title. I'm actually enjoying Bliss's character now. Charlotte would later throw her doll in the bin, which didn't wink or stand up all by itself. Yes, I'll take that. I'll take non-supernatural dolls every day of the week, thank you, Vince. Drew McIntyre pretty much single-handedly beat Jinder Mahal, Veer and Shanky despite also teaming with the Viking Raiders. Reggie escaped a 24/7 title chase backstage, but Drake Maverick seems to have a plan. Following his warm-up 24/7 title chase last week, Jeff Hardy got a shot at Damian Priest's United States title next, with the belt's Extreme Rules opponent Sheamus on commentary. This was another decent match, telling the story of Priest's respect for Hardy turning to frustration, eventually beating him clean and then chasing off Sheamus too. A clean finish, a champion winning and looking strong. What is this company? This episode was so good, I even enjoyed a women's tag title segment. I don't know who I am anymore. Best Actor Oscar contendership aside for that backstage segment that preceded this, Almost a Superhero, Nikki, Almost a Superhero, actually got some back and forth offense in for her match against Tamina, which made it even more satisfying when she won, which played directly into the following Natalya vs Rhea Ripley match. Nikki was taken out, so Ripley had to fend off both Natty and Tamina, before Nikki managed to make it back out and stop the cheating for Rhea to win. This is the exact kind of crowd-pleasing babyface booking that has been missing from WWE for so long. The house show vibes continued with some fun 8-man tag action between Ali Mansour and the New Day versus Mace, T-Bar, AJ Styles and future world champion Amos, who won it all by himself for the heels. Doudrop beat Eva Marie in a few minutes, finally wrapping up that storyline. Hopefully. Karrion Kross got to wear human clothes in a backstage promo next, donning a black suit while talking about how he likes to inflict suffering, promising he won't get lost in the shuffle. This is one Scarlett Bordeaux away from actually working, and the main event, with 20 minutes left of the show, was Orton versus Lashley for the WWE Championship. A match that hasn't happened for 14 years, with the possibility of Randy becoming a double champion, Big E's briefcase lurking in the background, and MVP and Riddle as an extra layer of drama on the outside. A brilliantly perfect storm for a match thrown together in the last few days. Orton and Lashley had a really exciting back and forth 15-minute match, far more engaging than WWE's usual heel works over the babyface template. The finish was really well structured too, with Randy kicking out of a spear to hit an RKO, but MVP pulled Lashley out of the ring. Orton RKO'd MVP, but then got speared again to lose. But of course, the drama wasn't done there. Lashley got greedy. He wanted to keep beating up Riddle and Orton when he should have been preparing for Big E, who explicitly said he's gonna come out now. He knew it was going to happen, but when he spine-busted Orton through the announcer's table, he tweaked his knee as a way to protect him in what happened next. Big E came down, cashed in his briefcase, kicked out of a spear, and became the new WWE champion with a big ending. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods joined him in celebration because hopefully, maybe finally, it's a new day for Raw. Yes, it is. What did you think of Raw? Let me know in the comments. 87% of you went for Beige for the win in our poll on a poll match on the community tab. This was by far the best Monday Night Raw all year. It was so good, it makes you realize that WWE haven't even been putting on 3 out of 5 shows by comparison in 2021. Logical booking, a great crowd, a narrative through line and then babyface payoff, and most importantly, a sense of optimism on a show that's felt so stagnant for so long. This week's Raw is a glowing 5 out of 5. Samoa Joe vacates the NXT title, more WWE cuts backstage, heat over CM Punk and more.